live from high atop Scott Social Media Studios in the heart of the Cedar City, just outside of America's Music City. This is SEC Football Review with your host, Michael Clay and Jared Scott. Take it away, Michael.
All right, here we are, Jared. Took a few minutes.
You know, nothing like internet tech problems to always make you go, how in the heck does this equipment even work? I just hit the button, right? I mean,
yeah.
Just hit the button. That's all we do. That's
You
all we
heard
do.
what I said, try. Put a fan on it. That's about all I know to do.
Put a fan on it.
Yeah. Show 10.
That's what
Show
she
10.
said.
Ooh, the audience is here.
Oh, audience is in it
They're
today.
ready for laughs.
You're feeling the burn today. Feeling
Yeah.
the burn.
So, yeah, show 10. Here we go. They tried to slow us down, but we're up. We're live.
It's all those all those competitors out there, man, stealing
Yeah.
our stuff and then trying to show us up by shutting our equipment down. I mean, conspiracy theories.
Yeah, trying
That's
to
where I'm all about conspiracy theories.
Sabotage.
You know, kind of like my conspiracy theory about Ole Miss making it to the SEC championship.
You're one step closer to becoming reality there, not a theory. I still think it's out there.
Going to be an interesting conversation about all that today.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. We had 10, including us, picks, so one more than last week, picking in the survey, so fun. That's
Hey,
still
those
fun.
of you guys who are out there watching us week in, week out, you don't know how much we love that.
No, yeah, we appreciate it.
I thought for sure we'd have a whole season of just having one viewer, and it'd be your mama.
Buzzer you on that. You're coming out with gloves? No gloves.
Actually, it'd be my mama. I think my mama actually watched the show last week.
Does she? Yeah, my mom and dad, they don't know technology. Like me. The Apple
Low tech. If I hit that button on my little flip phone, it don't work.
No, that's right. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Get that flip phone out there,
Yeah.
Michael.
That's right. Hey, flip phone's good, man. Less distraction. Just dial a number and say hello.
Yeah. Do people even dial numbers?
Look, my dad probably 3 times a week, he butt dials me.
How do you butt dial with a flip phone?
Well, it's not a butt dial. He'll open his phone to look at it, and then he tries to delete the last call that I had to see.
Oh, and then when he
And
tries to delete, he actually
hits
calls.
dial. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Every time, too. And then he'll go, that crazy phone. I can't figure it out.
He really just wanted to talk to you. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, he'll hang up. I call him back because I'm like,
Oh, he's trying to tease you.
yeah, it'll hang up. He won't answer. And then, when it rings,
So your mom and dad don't watch our show, huh? I need to talk to
It's
them at
not
church. I might have
because-
to have a conversation with them at church.
I'll have to go over there and I'm telling you, we would have to drive over there.
You have to set up
get
a
it-
button on the TV.
Yeah, it has to be very easy. Bless their hearts. I'm being serious.
Well, my mama, she got her a new iPhone, so she's figured it all out.
Yeah. My mom about once every 2 weeks will call me and be like, could you have Mandy come put on something to my iPad? It's my tablet.
Oh, Mandy's a techie, huh?
Well, more than me, yeah. Yeah, she's pretty good with that stuff.
Well, she's got you doing those shorts for our show. I mean, the
Yeah.
shorts are hitting it off, man.
Well-
We got, 400 people viewing our shorts?
Yeah, on the regular. Two of the videos are over 500. Two of the
Yeah,
shorts.
the one about the underwear was the hit, wasn't it?
No, I don't know. Two about your ghost peppers,
Oh, everybody loves it, hot peppers.
and then actually Army talking about Army has gotten up there in the 400s.
Oh yeah, Army's a hot button item right now because I still don't think they're ranked. I was trying to think.
No, they're ranked. They're
Oh, they
like
are ranked
20, maybe 2 or something.
Good.
But yeah, and then your bold prediction of Tennessee winning the SEC and a natty.
Well, that's a
I
big
made
one.
a short of that, and that's running. It's
That's a
getting
big
close
one.
to 500, I think.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so.
We'll see if all my predictions come true. If they do, this is going to be. Remember, I'm trying to not be winning every time. I don't want I don't want our fans to think that I'm trying to screw them over here.
I like turtles. Yeah, I don't buy your little deal because the last 3 weeks, you might be arrested in Vegas. You're 14. Let me make sure I get this right. 14.
Oh, that reminds
14
me.
and 5
That
picking
reminds
against
me.
the spread.
I got you something special for the show today. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, maybe I can't find it.
Well, as you're looking, I don't think you understand. 14 and 5 picking against spread. No. Like,
I got you some good ones.
Awesome.
I hadn't put them on the button board yet, but I got you some good ones. And we're doing coffee this week, right? It's starting to get a little chilly.
Yeah.
Right. So we decided it's coffee time. But if we decide to go back to beer, I got something good for that one too.
Duff beer.
There you go. Classic.
Yeah.
But the reason why I bring this up, I'm going to tell you the reason why I bring this up is because Simpsons. Have you seen the memes about the Simpsons predicting the future?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of manipulation going on there, but
yeah.
But I've been to the future. I've already seen.
I cannot wait for the day you go like 0-6 in the picks. I'm gonna come in here knocking
Here's the
stuff
411,
over.
folks. Say some gangster is dissing your
That's
fly
right.
girl. You just give him one of these.
Give him one of these.
I'm telling you, you better hope. You better hope.
See, at the end, it's just going to be this.
I am the champion. I am
God,
the
I hope not.
champion.
I hope not.
No time for losing, 'cause I am the champion.
That's me. That's me.
Oh, no.
You're out of control with your. I'm gonna knock that. If I can find where these buttons are, I'm gonna knock them out. That's the problem. I don't know where it's coming from. But no, yeah, you're continuing. No one has been.
Oh, Jason says Notre Dame's going to beat Army.
Is he yard dog, by the way?
I don't know, Jason. Are you yard dog?
Because I didn't put it up there, did I?
I guess not.
No,
I guess
yard
not.
dog was. I mean, he did as good as I did. He went 1-5.
How did you not include the
I
rock
forgot.
stars?
No, he was last place with me and Ellis. He's not a rock star.
Wait a second. Let's see. I haven't looked at these stats yet. Did you say you're last place?
Shut up. Yeah.
And I'm what? I'm sorry. What am I again?
No one's been able to knock you off your little pedestal.
Oh, that's right. First place. Not only first place, but
I would say
first place 1, 2,
4 weeks in a row.
3, 4 weeks in a row. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, those of you out there in audience land, cheer please. Thank you very much.
They don't want to cheer for you. Oh, they laughed at you. So. You had it right laughing at him at the first time. Real imaginary audience.
So based on my track record at this point, right? I mean, my prediction of what was it again? I'm gonna now. Granted, Vandy let me down. I'm not gonna go there right now. Pavia's too busy trying to worry about getting some more NIL money next year.
Yeah.
With his lawsuit,
Yes.
right? And so those of you who don't know, Pavia sued the NCAA to try to get one more year of eligibility based on his belief that playing for a JUCO doesn't count as eligibility. And really, he's just trying to get one more year of NIL money.
When I saw that story come out Friday
Can't
night,
believe it.
somebody texted me, and I responded with, "Well, they'll lose tomorrow now." That
That's
was
right.
my first.
He's prioritizing things that are not the
Yeah.
game. And
That was my first reaction, and it made me very scared, and rightfully so. If you saw what happened, so they lost 28-7.
it was
But
bad.
South Carolina does have a good defense.
South
but-
Carolina's good. We're going to talk a little bit about that coming up.
Yeah.
So speaking of, let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah.
All right. Well, can we real quick? We kind of got off track.
Talk about the winners and the losers from last week.
Well, no.
You said you're going to start posting those, right?
Yeah, and I did post on the Facebook page. I posted the records. Now I have access, and I will be posting earlier in the week. I'm
Have
learning.
access. Hey, we had to make a lot of significant changes to weasel our way around Survey Monkeys firewalls and preventing things. If Survey Monkey's watching, we love you very much. I'm sorry. We'll figure out a way to pay you later.
Yeah, great survey. No, it's working well for us. But no. big weekend football, but tomorrow night I want to talk about this. Not football related, but Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight.
What's that, Michael? What are we going to talk about, Michael?
Yeah.
What are we going to
So
talk about?
just real quick, I'm very excited for this. Mike Tyson brings back memories of teenage years and just growing up watching boxing and getting together with friends, paying for the pay-per-view and then watching him win in 1 or 2 rounds and being mad that it didn't go longer. But pulling for him this week, I don't know if it's a setup fight or what. I don't know if I'm just hanging on to teenage days growing up and thinking Tyson's the best boxer I've ever seen, but I sure hope he knocks that punk out.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, baby.
Yep. Yeah, playing his game.
That was the game.
Oh my
this is one
gosh.
of the things I was holding back. You know, those of you guys who don't know the ins and outs, occasionally Michael and I actually get to sit here and chat a little bit before the show.
Yeah.
And I should have been prepping all our equipment instead. Otherwise, we would have been on
We had
time.
plenty of time.
We thought we had
yeah.
plenty of time, and then the equipment blew up on us. But anyway, we try to hold back as much as we can pre-show
Yeah.
because we don't want to have a good moment that we don't get to catch during show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've saved some of my stuff that I really wanted to kind of make fun of and have a good time with during the show. For the show, and we try our best to do that because we feel like it makes the show better. We're not big analysts. We're just good old boys having a good time.
It's like if we were all sitting at a bar together.
I mean,
or
if we
sitting
were
around-
serious, we sure as heck wouldn't have Bob Ross, Deadpool Bob Ross in the background.
No, you could be serious with Deadpool Bob Ross. It's a new kind of serious. A different kind of serious.
I could be serious with Deadpool Bob Ross.
And a pretty little tree over here.
Oh, that's a good that new movie. Have you gotten to see the new Deadpool movie? The new
No, I
Deadpool.
haven't.
Oh, you've got to see it. It's so funny.
I'm not into that.
So funny. You don't have to be a Marvel fan. It's just so
Is it funny?
funny.
Okay.
So
I
I was
like
actually
comedy.
I don't laugh out loud a lot in a movie.
Yeah.
I did in that one.
Okay. I might watch that then.
I did in that one. So
I don't get into the big Marvel and
well, I mean,
sci-fi and all that.
we're big Marvel fans, or
Yeah.
we were. A lot of the Marvel stuff's really not as good as it used to be, the original series stuff. But that's very, very,
Yeah.
very funny.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Maybe one day if I'm bored, I'll watch it. But,
If you're bored and not watching our show, right?
yeah, that's right. So yeah, back to before we get into football.
So we wanted to have on the
Yeah,
survey.
explain that.
We wanted to have on the survey you to be able to pick. This goes back to our kind of squeezing around the Survey Monkey thing. There's a limit on our account because we don't pay the big bucks to Survey Monkey that they want us to pay, and so they limit us to 10 questions. And Jason says he needs a Bob Ross painting. Hey, my kids have done some, Jason. I can hook you up.
We could have a Bob Ross painting party.
Ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Maybe when we roll out our new show.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll drip a little bit
Maybe.
about the new show in a little bit. But anyway, so I don't even know what I was saying now. Oh, we were trying to get a question on
Yes.
there for folks to pick Tyson versus Paul.
Yes.
And to pick who they thought was going to win the bout. And we just couldn't get it on there. So sorry, folks. We really wanted to include that. We usually include our picks of last week's games.
Right, yeah.
What they think was the best game. We couldn't fit that on there either. And it's just simply because there's so many games this week
Yes. There's.
that it took up all our questions. And so
Right.
we probably need to get into the football as soon as we can. But
So-
ultimately, who are you picking, Tyson or...
Tyson. I'm going Tyson. I hope.
you know what? I'm going to go Paul.
Oh God, you punk.
Paul's MMA, isn't he? He's the MMA.
No. He was a YouTuber, social media guy. come up that way, got into boxing, and one of his like
So he's an actual boxer, not an MMA guy.
he's learning. Yeah. He's not an MMA guy. He's a boxer, and he gets ex-MMA guys or old retired
forget
MMA guys to
I'm
fight
gonna go
him.
with Tyson then.
And then he said he trying to say he's one of the best boxers ever already. He's had 11 fights. The only real professional boxer that he has boxed, he lost that match in a decision.
Who was this?
It was Fury, Tommy Fury, and that's the only boxer, actual professional boxer.
So
Everybody
you
else
follow
has been-
this like you do midget wrestling, huh? For those of you who don't know, Michael is a big fan of midget wrestling.
Well, no, actually, if you want to get serious, not midget wrestling, but like local wrestling. Towns and I used to go to
Oh, the good
Gladeville
old boy
Community Center.
Gladeville wrestling matches. So if you want to,
yes. Hey, every Friday night, 8 o'clock, Gladeville Community
Still?
Center, there's wrestling. Yeah. It is. We used to go, we got to where,
you know what? When we do our new show, we're going to broadcast live from Gladeville Wrestling.
and I think I could make that happen.
That would be great.
100%.
That would be
We
great.
got to know some of those guys that put it on. And dude, that would be fun. We used to go.
That would be great.
Jared, look, we got
was I wrong? Have you not watched midget wrestling? I thought you did.
No. I watched just local wrestling. We actually got
Jason says boo.
Tyson. Yeah, he booed you because you picked Jake Paul.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah,
is?
he's a Tyson. He said Tyson.
He's a Tyson fan.
Yeah, which I
Gotcha.
agree. But yeah, we got people going to this wrestling on Friday nights that we got them to bring Jerry Lawler up here, and we got to watch Jerry Lawler one night.
Jerry Lawler.
The old Memphis classic, big-time Memphis wrestler. You remember
Really?
Jerry the King Lawler, and he did announcing in WWF or E.
Jerry the King Lawler.
You don't know him? The promoter that was doing the wrestling at Gladeville, we said, what would it take to get Jerry Lawler up here? Because we knew he knew the promoter and all that, and he said, you have to have X amount of, at the time it was $10 to get in. He said, he said he needed 100 people there for sure.
Oh, he had to have enough money to
Yeah.
get in there.
They brought in they had a cage match for us one time.
You're
We were like, how
kidding me.
about it? We got to where we were getting
How many people
in
go to
there.
this thing?
75 people maybe. And that's a good night.
So I need to Google Gladeville Community Center Wrestling.
No. You could put it in there. It's PWA wrestling now, I believe.
Yeah, it didn't come up.
Yeah, no.
Oh, PWA
Yeah, there you
Wrestling
go.
Fridays, 8 p.m.
Yep.
And they're not wrestling on the 29th, so we can't.
Yeah. The Star Twins, they kind of run it now.
Oh.
There's been one guy. I can't
Pro
remember.
Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah.
Oh, they're based out of Lebanon.
Yeah.
Wow, this is local good old boys.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
dude, I'm telling you.
This is
yes.
great. Okay, we got to put this. We got to show our
It's
audience
awesome.
this.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Okay, so I got to figure out how to switch again. I forgot how to switch. Here we go. So this is the Revenge.
So the guy doing the flexing, that's one of the Star Twins. He kind of helps run it. Dude, it's awesome. It's
I
so
love this
fun.
guy here. He's
Yeah.
like Pimp Daddy Smooth.
So when is
This guy looks like the dude from
November. See, tomorrow night. I told you, tomorrow night.
Well, we need to talk to them about broadcasting live from their goods.
Yeah.
We'll promote them, right? I mean, promote them to all of our nine viewers.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we've got 9, right? Because that's how many
Oh,
filled the
yeah.
survey out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, some of our shows have got some pretty high numbers. I thought, not live numbers, but
Right. Yeah, you get people watching.
Jason says Jared was watching Bob Ross when we were watching wrestling.
That sounds about right.
Oh, Jason, you're taking something out of Reagan's book there, harassing me. I see how this works. I see how you've been around Reagan too much.
Yeah. But yeah, so man, we've really got way off track.
We're
on
way
stuff.
off. We need to get back on
Tyson
the.
Paul, comment on our pages.
That's right.
comment
Best
in here
we can
live.
do is say, hey, pick your pick
Yeah.
on the comments, comment, Tyson or Paul, and we'll just take a quick
We'll be talking about
quick
it next
numbers
week, I'm
next
sure,
week
real
and say,
quick.
hey,
Yeah.
this is what our viewers thought, and you know, this is what actually happened. So
Yeah. So so let's get picks. Jared 4-2, B12 Sully 4-2, Jay Hood, bless his heart, he was last forever. He's 3-3. I'm proud of him. Pablo Mack 2-4. You said that might be an Uncle Joe, B. Joe Scott 2-4.
it might be Uncle Joe. If you're watching the show, you need to chat into the chat.
Let us know you're watching, Unc. Penhise 2-4, Towns 2-4, and then me and Ellis had a bad week, 1-5, and then Yard Dogs, which I think is Jason. He was 1-5. I
So
forgot to put him
Vegas
up there.
is begging you and Ellis to come.
Yeah, and Jason. Yeah, they would love for us three to be there. They'd take all our money.
Oh, Reagan was spending all his time bragging about Bama. Yeah, Bama won, so now Reagan's back in the news. So
Well, we can take all the viewers we can get.
Reagan was harassing me. He says, "Why are you wearing a Predators jersey to a show?"
Oh, so
and I
he's
said,
watching.
Reagan, here's the deal. You know, I'm trying not to be a homer, right? I'm trying to look like that I'm not all about Tennessee all the time, even though I'm predicting that they're going to win an SEC
Yeah, and you
championship.
were waving the flag around and everything last week.
Okay, so I guess I wasn't really not being a homer.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I went there with Peyton Manning. It was good times back in the '90s. Okay,
That's right.
so I think it's justified.
That's right. I think so. If you went there, true, then I have no beef with you being a fan.
Fine.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
That's
I've
right.
got degrees from both UT and Vandy,
Yeah.
so I can be a homer for both. Is what you're
That's
saying.
right.
You gave me
So-
authorization to be a big boy.
Yep. You can do it. You can do it. So, yeah, moving on.
You ready to talk about some football?
Yeah, let's talk a little football. You want to talk a couple games last week real quick, and then we'll get into the
Yeah,
picks.
let's talk. So I really wanted to start a little bit by talking about the games last week. We wanted to have the choice of what you
Right.
thought was the premier game, and I want to start with this one first. Okay, and this is going to kind of lead into some of the stuff that's going to happen in the show coming up. Right, Georgia
Yeah.
10, Ole Miss 28. and
that shocked me.
Ole Miss consistent scoring. Right.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole game, couldn't believe that Georgia couldn't stop them, and I think this kind of leads into my prediction, right? So if we start seeing more people fall with
Yeah.
3 losses, it could open the door for this to happen.
No, it could. And then obviously the last game that we're going to talk about tonight is the big one, and we'll get a little more into Georgia, Tennessee. But
I mean,
yeah,
Ole
that
Miss
will play
putting up
into-
28 points.
That's huge.
Against the Bulldogs 10, and Georgia was ranked number 3, thought to be the greatest, right? And so my point in saying is, and I think this is maybe a good time to talk about the image that I found online, and I think you previewed a little bit. Is this a good time, you think, to talk about this?
Was this the playoff?
Yeah, or should we wait until after we get done talking about the games last week?
Let's do it right before we get
After we get done talking about
yeah,
games
yeah.
last week. Okay,
So that's obviously huge.
So
implications
huge
in
win,
playoff.
huge
Yeah.
win here for Ole Miss. And you know, I'm not a huge Kiffin fan. I'm not a huge Ole Miss fan, even though I predicted them to go to the SEC championship. It's just the data points to Ole Miss, like they're top in passing. They're top. I mean, their numbers are just rock star, and Tennessee's numbers are rock star. So, being
Yeah.
the statistician that I am, right?
Yeah.
Statistician. That's it. Statistician. I don't know that I really am a statistician, but I'll use that word, right?
You can pretend to be one.
I can pretend.
I'll let you.
I'll play one on TV.
Yeah,
I'll play one on YouTube, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll play one on YouTube.
I'll play one on YouTube. I'll
And
play.
a slap at a Holiday
I'll play
Inn
one on
Express.
YouTube.
Jared liked that one, so did the crowd.
Slip at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I'll be a surgeon tomorrow. Those were good commercials.
No, they were. They were.
Really good commercials. Anyway, so when we talk about this, right? This is Ole Miss 28-10. This is not a close call, right? This is a
Yeah,
clear
no,
win. They
yeah.
dominated Georgia. Georgia couldn't stop them, right?
Yeah, and then they couldn't score.
And this kind of goes back to the defense play, right? And I think we've touched on this a little bit. interestingly enough, Ole Miss has a defense.
Yes, their defense has
So
improved from
Ole Miss
last
has
year.
a defense. Tennessee has a defense. We're
Yes.
going back to the same conversations that we had previously. Okay, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse. A lot of things have to happen,
you're-
and I think you've already said,
You're
"Hey,
hitting that dead horse.
okay, no more dead horse." You ready to move on to the next game?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
do you want to chat on this some more?
Well, no, it's a shocker, and then I think Ole Miss is getting primed for a run. This puts them
Ready to go.
definitely
So,
into the
and
playoffs.
you're saying, hey, they're playoff eligible at this point, right?
Yeah, and they, which you were going to bring it up, they have them in there. So, and rightfully so at this point.
They're ready to rumble.
Up until this point, I wasn't an Ole Miss and still kind of on the fence, but this definitely changes my mind a bit and sets them up for a playoff run, or at least to get into the playoffs.
And they've
I
had
still
what?
don't think
They had
it-
a loss against Kentucky, but that was very early on. That was their first serious game,
Yeah.
right? They had that loss against LSU.
Yeah.
Both of those games were very close.
I still don't think they can get into the top two.
Within 5 points, they would have
SEC
been
championship
undefeated.
game. Oh, yeah.
5 points,
Yeah.
Ole Miss would have been undefeated.
That's right.
Not a big Kiffin fan, but let's talk facts, right?
Yeah, no.
So,
Yeah, he's earning the
and if we look
respect
at the
now.
rest of the season for Ole Miss, it's the two worst teams in the conference, Florida and Mississippi State. So I mean, I don't see
They should win
that
out.
they
unless
should win out, and there should be. I think those are going to be big wins. They're going to be convincing wins.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Yeah, move on to the next. You want to talk about next?
So the next game that we thought maybe was one of the ones that should be talked about, and Reagan should be chatting this one up.
Yeah. I mean, there was.
Oh, Jason says Georgia will be without ETN.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, so
we'll
that's going to be a huge.
Yeah,
Why
that's
is
jumping
that? I
ahead.
didn't know anything about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
when we get to it.
But this kind of goes back to Reagan's excitement around Bama again, right? 42-13. I think a lot of people thought this was going to be a close game.
I did.
And
I mean, I picked.
LSU just couldn't score.
Yeah.
So
I had Alabama not covering, which it was 2.5. I thought LSU.
was this one of
would
your
win.
losses?
Oh yeah, yeah. Had 5 of them, by the way. One of many losses. Yeah, shut up. yeah. Wasn't a good
5
week.
of them, huh?
Was not a good week. I'm gonna bounce back though. Somebody's gonna dethrone you. You cannot win out the rest of be atop the leaderboard.
Well, I mean, I've already set myself up for failure, right? Because I said that
I
Vandy
don't
wouldn't
buy
cover.
your little talk.
And then the whole
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about SEC being Ole Miss. I mean, I think most people would say statistically you're probably correct, right? How is it?
Yeah, but that doesn't.
There's a
affect-
lot of chips that have to
That
fall.
doesn't affect your picking the spreads though.
Yeah, I guess
Cough on
not.
me. Yeah.
I guess not. I cover my mouth.
I wondered if you caught me saying that. Oh gosh. Yeah. I was surprised Alabama. They just rolled through LSU.
They rolled
21-6
Tide.
at halftime. Yeah, they
The
did.
Tide rolled right over the state of Louisiana.
I'm telling you, they're playing. Like I don't think
Great
Vanderbilt-
ball. I tell you, Milroe looked great.
If Alabama was playing this way when Vandy played them, I don't think Vandy beats them. I think they're playing. I mean, they weren't playing bad then, but they seem to have picked it up and are playing a lot better now. What that means, I don't know, but because for a while I didn't think they'd make the college playoff, and now
Really?
I think they're the way they were playing
That's a big statement.
after Tennessee beat
I mean,
them.
talking about Bama here.
Yeah,
Bama,
but after
Bama
Vandy-
could lose like 5 games and still make the college playoff.
At that time, I thought, well, they'll have another loss after Tennessee and Vandy beat them. But right now, they're looking strong.
I'm just saying, Bama could lose every game, and the analysts would still say, "Yeah, I think Bama's going to go to the playoff."
Well, I mean, now they have
They
a great
love
argument.
Bama. They
Yeah.
love Bama.
Yeah, Milroe, and the big thing here that gets me excited for Vanderbilt playing LSU next week. Milroe ran all over him. He had like 100. I can't remember. Like
You know who
160,
he looked like
180
this
yards.
game?
I don't know.
Pavia.
No, yeah, exactly. So that gives me hope.
He took a play out of playbook for Pavia. He says,
Well-
you know what? I'm watching Pavia. Pavia's making magic happen.
I don't think
they did it
that-
all over us. I'm going to do it too.
Well, LSU is not good against the run. They give up quite a bit of yards, like 150 yards a game on the ground every game. So that gives me hope for Vanderbilt. I don't think they're going to go down there necessarily and beat them, but they're going to score on LSU, I believe.
Yeah, that's in
And
what,
they-
2 weeks?
Next week, yeah.
Not this week, but next
Yeah,
week.
next week, yeah.
So we'll talk about that in the next
Yeah,
show.
I'm getting ahead of me. But Alabama, I think, showed the way for a running tight quarterback like Pavia and Milrow. They
yeah.
give them. They said, "Here, look
Gonna
at this."
open the door,
Yeah.
right?
I hope so.
That Pavia style play, man, it's really doing a number on these teams. And Pavia, my understanding is he got hurt.
Yeah.
So
But I think they got a bye week. He'll get
get
you
healthy
hate bye
again and
weeks,
brought
but
back.
Yeah,
yeah, I hate
so-
bye weeks. Bye weeks drive me crazy.
yeah. So the next game you thought.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
By the way,
Okay, this one. Now, this one. Just looking back at the scores, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one was Oklahoma.
it was a good game.
Yeah, they were fighting it in the
Yeah.
trenches.
Yeah.
In the trenches. And I just, before we start talking, I want to now show. This was, now I know this is
you were
sinful.
excited for this.
This is sinful, but hopefully this will play correctly here.
It gives us another win, keeps us in the playoff hunt. That's right, I said it, playoff hunt.
That's right, he said it. Playoff hunt. That's right, he said it. Playoff hunt. No, Drinky. Let me tell you something, Drinky. Drinky. You ain't in the playoff hunt, buddy.
Yes, he is.
Oh, no.
Technically.
He's the Drinky. He's the drink no wits. It ain't going to happen.
Well, they're 7-2. If he wins out, it could happen.
Drink no wits.
If they end up 10-2, how's he? How?
Drink no wits. Because who's he got?
Oh, yeah.
He's got South Carolina. He actually gets to play some SEC games. Now, this
That's
is going to
true.
go to what we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
So when these teams play people who are not SEC teams, and then they get ranked dramatically great, like there's some tremendous team, and they've not played anybody in the SEC. Now, they played Oklahoma. Okay, good. They beat Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's- yeah.
They got blown out
Yeah.
by Bama,
Yeah.
right? They beat Auburn by 3 points, 4 points.
4. That's 4 there.
4
Professor
points.
Math.
Right? So
Yeah.
so now and they blew out UMass. Ooh. Lost to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Big loss.
And barely.
Barely beat Vandy, and this was early on in the season when everybody thought Vandy was nobody.
And not only that, it was an Yeah, it was overtime.
Yep, double overtime I thought,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Seemed like it was a double
maybe. I
overtime.
know it was overtime. It might have been 2.
Right. But the truth of the matter is that now we're actually seeing them play SEC teams.
Yeah.
South Carolina's on fire. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And Arkansas is going to end the season. So both of those teams.
They could lose 2 of the last 3
That's right.
games.
That's right. So drinky.
But I do have a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
Last week, and if anybody was watching and saw this part,
I'm going to use
You
that
were-
as an
you
audio
were-
clip. I'm going to put that as an audio clip on the board. And every time something dumb happens, or we see a game that's going to be ridiculousness,
You're gonna put
I'm going
that
to
up?
play drinky.
okay.
It's my chance to go to the playoff. We're still in it.
I think you secretly have a crush on him. As much as you talk
He
about
is a
him.
good-looking guy. I mean,
No, that guy was.
what I gotta say, I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
You have bad taste and what a
Bad taste in men.
handsome man looks like. That dude, look
He's
at
a
him.
chipmunk-looking guy.
Yeah, I don't call that handsome.
I guess I like chipmunks.
Dang. But
I'm like the dog chasing the squirrel.
yeah. No, so the bone I got to pick with you is I should have pizza here tonight. Because you told me Oklahoma, and I should have a pick for Missouri last week. I should be 2-4. But you convinced. I didn't want to pick against you because you've been picking so well. But you took Oklahoma, so I did too, and we lost
This is
it.
one of my losses.
And I said, you better be right, or you owe
know
me
what's
pizza.
happened. You know what's happened.
And you didn't give me pizza. You owe me.
Drinky's watching the show, and so he's making sure that I get screwed.
I don't know.
Drinky and Pavia.
But listen, pizza's been put up
I
for
owe you
bets
pizza.
here.
I know.
Towns owes us pizza. There's a lot of
a
pizza
lot
that's
of pizza
owed to
that's
people.
owed. There's a lot of
Yeah.
pizza owed.
And it's
But I
went
mean, coffee
unpaid.
makes up for some of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll cut
and
you
my
a little
coffee's
slack.
fresh ground coffee.
And that's my second cup. I'm on my second cup. It's good.
The best part of waking up is fresh ground coffee in your cup.
That's all I'm gonna do all night. Buzzer you, because you don't have a boo button.
Put your boo button in place. Jason's putting the boo on the screen.
Thank
for
you.
us.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's getting interesting. Last 3 weeks coming up. It's gonna be
Drinky,
fun.
when you watch our show, just remember I said, no Drinky, no Drinky.
What if he really watched it one time? Dude, that would be
I don't
so
know. You know, a lot of
awesome.
these people see these shorts, so who knows? Maybe he's
Yeah.
one of the 400 that saw the short. There's a lot of other people with
Yeah.
great shows out
Hey,
there that.
you say 400. I'd like to say like 4,300.
Well, I mean, you know,
If you look at our
didn't you say the total stats were like 4,000 or 3,000 or something?
43. It's up to 4,300 that's viewed.
They're all just watching
Something.
that underwear.
Well, whatever floats their boat. Water floats mine, but underwear floats some. So, moving on, right? We're going to get into.
Okay, so let's start talking
Do you
about
want
the
to bring
games
up the
that.
playoffs real quick? Did you have something to say about that, or do you want to get into these picks? And
Let's get into these picks, and we'll talk about the playoffs at the end.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think that it'll be more relevant at that point.
Okay.
So, if that's okay with you. Are you good with
And
that?
if you're, I'm good with that.
Okay.
And that's a good picks are a good segue if you want to kind of promote it.
Man, I love this, Michael. This is like
It's
my
fun.
favorite time of the week sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's been fun, man.
I really like this.
And
Okay.
we got what is fun is
Was this a man crush?
no, no. We get interaction. Like if no one was still watching.
It'd be great
And I'm not
conversation
saying we
just
have
between you and me. I'm not saying that our audience should stop watching. I'm just
No.
saying,
I'm saying that what makes it even more fun is we know that we're going to have some people watching instead of nobody when we do this.
the interaction just makes it so much more fun.
Yeah, and
We should order Ziggy's Pizza and tailgate in the Glade Center parking lot before PW.
dude, that would
Towns
be,
is all
yeah.
about
Yeah.
ordering some Ziggy's Pizza and tailgating in the parking lot
Ziggy's
right
is-
before
you
the
can see-
wrestling match.
You can see Ziggy's from the community center. So,
Well, if we could figure out how to get internet in the Gladeville parking lot, then maybe that would
Yeah.
be something we could broadcast live
see-
from there. Who knows?
dude, that would be so awesome.
Does Gladeville Community Center have internet?
I could find that out. That's where I voted.
Is it?
Yeah. So
maybe they have
got,
internet.
they can handle voting machines.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
voting machine's not supposed
I
to be
know.
connected to the internet. That's like, no. Shame.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to let the internet cheat the vote. That's not happening.
No.
At least not in Tennessee, it's not.
That's right. So, yeah, getting into our picks. Pick at home. If you're watching.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, let's
I need to
plug
bring
that
up
real
the
quick.
pick screen, don't I?
Yeah, so pick along with
So,
us.
for those that don't know how to do this, hopefully you've been watching long enough now. And I'm going to do
It's
this the
for new
old-fashioned way.
viewers too,
SEC
man.
football review, right?
Yep.
It's going to bring up our link tree, and we like to try to pick during the show. So here's your picks link, and you're going to see me do it because I haven't done it today yet. So once I click on it, it's going to bring up another page, and you can do this on your phone too, just the same. And then you just pick cover, not cover with us. Now, one of the interesting things about the show this week is that because there's multiple games that do not have a spread for the Vegas. Vegas has not done a spread. So for the Kentucky game and the Bama game, we picked our spreads,
We just made them up.
and we'll talk about those spreads in just a minute. So,
Yeah.
so Michael,
Well,
do we want to
getting
go
into-
ahead and start going or what?
Yeah, let's get into the first one.
Okay, looking at
first
the
spread
first
we
one.
made up.
Our first game is the spread we made up for Kentucky versus Murray State. And they said no picks. Apparently, only the coach at Murray
Yep.
State is voting for a win on this particular game.
Or the coach's mom.
His mama.
Yeah, coach probably didn't even pick himself.
His mama watching the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But so we picked a spread of 25.5.
Yep.
And I think maybe we went too high on this one. Was I the one who said to take it high on this one?
Yeah, I wanted it like at 20 or 21.
Well, we're got to give a freebie to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
Well, I don't know. Can Kentucky score 25 points?
Interesting. That's
26 actually, because you put the half point in there, so they got to score 26 points.
I'm trying to think. What did Kentucky do? Let's see. This is Murray State's schedule.
They have not scored
over 25. Yeah. This was a bad decision, I think. But I mean, these are all SEC teams.
Yeah. Where's their full?
You gotta see their full schedule against some nobodies.
Surely they scored more against some nobodies.
Have they had any nobodies? Okay.
Southern
31.
Miss.
There we go.
Okay.
31 to what?
To nothing. No, they lost.
That was a loss.
Yeah. And then they beat Ohio 41-6.
Okay, so those are, and so it is possible.
Yeah.
So the spread's not that far off, right?
Only yeah. No. I think they should score on.
But I mean,
Murray State's 1-9.
These teams are Murray State equivalents, aren't they? I mean,
probably both of them are probably better than Murray State.
And Stoopy's got to do something here, right? So Stoopy doesn't want to leave his legacy as being that he's a loser.
Yeah,
does he?
I'm gonna go with cover 25.5, especially. Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, Stoopy's got to do something, right? Stoopy,
Yeah.
hang on.
Yeah. Well, and you sent me an interesting article. I don't know, was it Saturday? But it was basically talking about he made a statement, and
You want to read that off?
Yeah.
Let's read Stoopy's statement.
So, and he made a statement in one of the press conferences he had, and his comment was, "I love this place. It's my home. I care deeply about this place." And the article was saying that's leading on that he's getting ready he's going to be out, or he knows he's probably on his way out.
Is on his way out mean that it's going to be bye-bye Stoopy, or is on his way out mean that it's going to be Stoopy says bye-bye?
No,
That's two different things right there.
I think again, and my whole opinion changed when we went to the Vandy, Kentucky game and listening to those fans.
They were already pissed off, and that was way, way back when.
I didn't know they didn't. Yeah. This is back
that
when
was
they
what, like the
still
second
had
game or something?
No,
Third
I don't
game.
know. Yeah, they didn't have a losing record at the time. Oh, they had beaten Ole Miss. It was after Ole Miss.
See, this goes back to what I was talking about. There's a lot of ball to play.
It was
still.
crazy how much they didn't.
A lot of ball to
They
play.
lost to Van, and the way they were talking, man. So I think he's gone. He's 3-6.
I forgot that Kentucky was the ones who beat Ole Miss.
Yeah. That was just a slip up. I wouldn't read into it. That was a bad game for Ole Miss.
I'm just saying, this
Ole Miss
is the
is
SEC.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about a little bit about anything can happen. So make your pick for Kentucky,
I say
Murray
cover.
State.
Yeah.
We put a 25. And because I'm
25
trying
and a
to...
half.
25. Oh,
Yeah, don't forget that.
I need to do my Bob Barker, man.
Yeah.
Bob Barker. So we got 25 and a half, and we're going to do picks, right?
Yep.
So I'm
are you
actually
doing?
going to pick that Kentucky covers.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right.
So Kentucky's going to cover 25 and a half. That means they will score more than 25. And I'm going to say they're going to score 26 and a half. Bob Barker, please. I don't have my PBRs to honor my grandfather, but hey, that's okay.
Next week.
Next week. We'll be back on the game next
so
week.
what's our next game?
So be sure to pick your pick. Remember, SECFootballReview.com. And yes, 26.5, Bob Barker.
I can't wait for him to say our next spread on this. So next game.
Okay, next game is going to be Alabama versus Mercer. And Reagan, if you're listening, thank you so much for the invite. I hate that I can't go. I've got to be a dad at a birthday party for Caitlin. So
Be a dad. There you go.
be a dad, be a good dad. So that's why I can't go. And but I'm heartbroken. I mean, Reagan's going to be live at the Mercer Alabama game.
That's cool.
So Reagan, sorry that I couldn't make it, and hopefully we can hook up to go to a game next time. So
And I'll say, Reagan, you're guaranteed a victory. You're guaranteed to see a victory.
guaranteed victory. Mercer's
Bazinga.
I'll call it
Bazinga.
right now, yeah. I'll guarantee you a victory, Reagan.
Is that right though that they're 9-1?
Yeah, I don't look into that too much. I don't even know who they played. I guarantee. So our
Don't
spread.
look into that too much.
Yeah.
Just don't look here. A 9-1 score. Don't look here. VMI, ETSU.
Western Carolina, Samford.
They lost to
Oh, they
Samford.
lost to Samford,
55-35.
Yeah.
Is that
Look at all
Princeton?
the points that's been scored on them.
Man, these are huge point numbers.
So Alabama's going to score.
Oh, they're going to score like crazy.
Yeah. Virginia,
VMI, is that Virginia Military Institute? They blew them out, 34-0.
they're worried about being military. They ain't worried about football. As well as they should.
Army's worried about football, making
Well,
magic
they
happen.
can do both.
It's because they're stout, man.
Yeah.
Stout.
Yeah. So, you want to say the spread for this? It's a crazy spread. First time Vegas has done this, or us.
So the spread on this one, just so you know, when you're going to pick the Mercer at Alabama game, our spread is Alabama by 31 1/4, 31.25. Thank you very much. So I'm going to pick the Bob Barker and go over at 32.25.
I'm going to say Alabama covers that to 31.25.
Alabama covers 31.25 with the Bob Barker of 32.25. So, Bama, you got to score that quarter point. I don't know how you're going to do it.
Yeah, they'll find a way. Milroe
Can find a way to do anything.
Yep.
So
you're covered too?
yeah, and I don't know. He really played well. And I'm my Heisman candidates right now. You want to talk about? Have you thought about this? You've not thought about it, have you?
Because
Being an SEC boy,
right.
I'm going to tell you who mine are, and I'm not going to pick anybody outside the SEC. I'm just
Right.
not going to. I refuse to. So
I haven't kept up enough to tell you outside SEC.
I'm going to debate between three, and this is going to be some
from
crazy.
the SEC, yeah.
Three from the SEC, and I'm putting Milroe on there, and I think Milroe is kind of a default, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's Milroe.
He's gonna be in there.
He's going to be in the mix, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to pick some odd ones here. Okay. So my second
When
one.
you do this,
Well, this is totally statistical now. This is based on the stats.
okay,
My second one is going to be Jackson Dart.
okay, that's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
High passing numbers, right?
yeah. No, I wouldn't know.
My third one, Dylan Sampson.
Oh yeah, and why is Dylan Sampson not getting talked about for that?
Oh, I have no clue.
I honestly, I can't.
He's a beast.
I honestly would argue them two above Milroe.
He's the Derrick Henry of the era,
Yeah.
man. I mean,
Man.
he's King Henry and more. His stats are going to be off the chart. And honestly, we'll talk about that Georgia Tennessee game. But even if Nico is out, I think Dylan Sampson alone
Oh yeah.
can put it down. So
Well, I mean, the backup Gaston, he did fine. He managed the game just fine last
he did
week.
fine.
Yeah.
And honestly, his passes look beautiful. I was shocked. Now, he didn't look that good when he went out last time,
Yeah.
the first time around. And I think Tom made comments about the receiving core not being on their game or
Yeah.
whatever.
Some
But
of
it
them
seems
being
like
hurt.
Squirrel White, I don't know what happened. You know, he had problems with his shoulder, and now all of a sudden he's back. We're talking about the wrong game.
He needed a bye. He needed some rest. Your dreaded bye week. helped
Everybody
him.
needs to buy.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to buy.
All right, moving on right to the next game that really
Okay, next game on the list that we
big
put on the
spread.
list.
Yeah, we didn't make this one up though.
We didn't make this. This one actually had a spread. Alabama fans are probably disappointed that theirs did not have a spread, but Auburn did have a spread, and Auburn is picked to beat University of Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah,
Is that who that is?
yeah, it is.
Okay, so they're picked to beat Louisiana Monroe by 25.5.
And
So let's see when we go to do this pick. So I want to talk a little bit about Auburn here in a minute.
all right,
But we're not going to talk about them right now. So everybody go out and make your pick on this one.
you're not going to talk about Auburn during their game.
No, I'm going to talk about them in another spot.
Okay, well,
You can talk about them during the game if you want to talk about them.
I'm just going to say they don't cover.
Oh my goodness.
You talk a little highly about them. Well, last week you didn't, but then texting over the weekend, you talk like they were Oh, Hugh Freeze you never know about them. Blah 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 blah.
Hugh
I don't know
Freeze
if
is a
that's how you-
surpriser. Now, I got to admit, Hugh Freeze has made some dumb decisions lately.
I think he's on the ropes, man.
Oh, you think he's in the hot?
People don't like him.
Well, and you
Well,
know, you and I
outside of
talked about
Auburn.
this, talked about him early on. Remember, we talked about how Auburn figures out a way to pay payments for eternity to get
Yeah.
rid of their coaches, right?
And maybe that's what he's trying to do is get ran off, but still get paid and not have to coach.
Nah, you really think he's going to drain it all the way?
I don't know. He's made, like you said, he made some. He's made.
I think
some
he's
dumb-
I think he's frustrated because now he's in a real conference.
Well, he was with Ole Miss. That's what when he was rolling at Ole Miss when he got in that trouble.
Yeah, but he was like really rolling at Liberty.
Liberty's stupid.
Yeah, but they were like super undefeated over and over and over again under him.
But they didn't play anybody, and that was his rebound.
But that's my point, right?
Yeah.
Now he's having to play real teams. He thought he could replicate what he was doing. The crazy plays, have you seen the crazy plays he tries to play?
He doesn't have the athlete.
Flea flickers and all this stuff. Like, you
'Cause
can't
he's
do
desperate.
that. You can't do that in the SEC. But that also means that every now and then you get a little surprise out of him. And I'm not gonna
I'm
go
saying
there.
he wins. He wins this game, but I don't think he covers 25.5.
Okay. I'm gonna pick that he covers.
All right. Well, I
So
hope
I
you're
gotta
wrong.
make my pick. I gotta make
I
my
hope
pick.
you're wrong.
Everybody go out and make your pick. Cover, not cover. ULM versus Auburn. And this is at Auburn. War Eagle. Fly it in, baby.
Make your pick, and I challenge you to beat.
That's not what an eagle
Jared.
sounds like, does it?
That's my challenge.
What does an eagle sound like? Does an eagle even make a noise?
I don't know. Don't know. Kind of like a crow. I don't know what they sound like. I mean, I've heard, or maybe it's like that high pitched.
I'm gonna end up my coffee's gonna come up my nose.
Man, remind me not to use that microphone. You snotted all over.
Yeah, this is my mic exclusively to snot all over.
Yeah. It's my mic. I can do what I want with it.
I got to figure
done
out
lost
before the next game.
control
I'm gonna have
where
to
we-
figure out. I'm gonna have to figure out what an actual eagle sounds like. I think you're right though. I think it's like a high pitched
Yeah. Screech more.
screech.
Yeah.
But that's really intimidating.
Well, not the guy on Saved by the Bell. He wasn't intimidating.
Screech.
But the eagle screech is.
Eagle screech is.
Yeah, yeah,
That screech is
sure.
not.
Rest his soul, actually. I think
That's why we're the circus.
yeah. But no, I think he's passed away, to be honest with you. Rest in peace, Screech.
You're kidding me.
No,
Screech from Saved by the Bell passed away?
Yeah, he had a rough life, man. Seriously.
Dude, he was young.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I can't remember his real name.
Dustin Diamond.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. 2021.
Did he die of COVID?
I don't know.
He's a weird looking dude.
Yeah, and I think playing that guy it may have messed with him as he got older.
Oh, like psychological stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, don't talk
Whoa,
about
we're
yeah,
not going
yeah.
to talk about that. Maybe
No,
we should.
I was going to bring it up.
Maybe we
but-
should not have gone down this path.
Well, yeah, he just died's what we're saying. Yeah.
He had a professional wrestling
Yeah.
Memphis
Don't you
Championship
make that ties
Wrestling.
it all back in. We don't just go on tangents for nothing. We tie it all back in.
Memphis Championship Wrestling in
Yes.
April of 2000.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Part of a skit with The Cat.
Yep.
Now we're going to go down and where he was beaten up by Chip Diver, the Fabulous Rocker, and Danny B.
Yeah.
Wow. And then he went on this huge spree.
Yeah.
Contestant on Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling broadcast on CMT.
Yeah.
Man, the dogs like that too, don't they?
Dude, that's a great. I don't know. He lost to a wrestler named Mischief. That's a great name.
Mischief. It's
gotta be
spelled
a woman.
MSCHIF.
Yeah.
Mischief.
I'm wondering if it was a lady wrestler too, dude. That's awesome.
Oh, and he teamed with Bushwhacker Luke.
You remember the Bushwhackers, don't you? They were WWF tag team.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to broadcast live from Gladeville wrestling
Yeah,
match.
see,
here.
it's all coming together. Our little plan.
Oh, he had cancer.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, that's why I said rest in peace.
Wow.
But yeah. So,
Lung cancer.
man,
I guess he was a smoker then.
dang, stage 4 too. That's bad.
Jeez.
Must have been. But
Great show though, man.
Yeah.
If you're
Saved by the
young
Bell
and
is
you've
my
not watched
favorite.
Saved by the Bell, you
Yeah.
got to watch some episodes. It's very 90s classic, 90s chic, right? Is that a right term? Is that even something?
Yeah, sounds
90s chic?
sounds good. I mean, it was the best.
90s chic. Mm-hmm. That's you, Michael. You're 90s chic.
I guess that's a compliment.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I like turtles.
Town says Auburn not cover. I
Yep.
agree with
Yeah,
you there.
Towns is like, get this show on the road. We don't want to hear
Yeah.
any more about Saved by the Bell. Okay.
Oh, he liked Say by the Bell, I believe.
Did he?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sounds
who knows?
good. But yeah, Auburn not cover. I'm with you, Towns.
Okay.
All right, now
So
we're
moving
getting
on
into
to some serious games now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. You think so? I guess this has got
This
got
is
some.
serious.
This has got
A little
some
bit.
some ramifications for what? Top 25, I guess.
For LSU, yeah.
Yeah.
They still only have 2 SEC losses, so.
Well, what shocked me on this one was the spread. Oh my gosh.
do you think-
LSU is only expected to win by 4.
Yeah, 4-point favorite.
I'm having a hard time with that one.
Do you think it should have been more?
I think so.
Well, they're both coming off getting just totally blown out. Both of them are. But I like that spread. I'm going to take LSU to cover. Even
Oh yeah, I'm going to take
Yeah.
LSU to cover. No doubt.
I mean, even though it's at Florida,
I mean, the Swamp has got power, but there's also Billy Napier.
he's the Swamp's kryptonite. Kryptonite.
He's the swamp creature. Oh, that was a big mistake. That was a big mistake
What was?
when
Billy
Florida
Napier?
said, "Hey, Billy, we're not going to let you go."
No, listen. Okay, to get back to that,
That was a big mistake.
he's gone at the end of the year. I bet
It doesn't matter. You don't tell somebody, "Hey, we're not going to let you go."
it was strategic.
Yeah, and it strategically
buying-
lost them Texas.
You're buying into too much.
It strategically got them blown out.
Nah, I don't think that did. I think just they're no good's what got them blown out. Yeah, I think.
Well, but you also think that Texas hung the moon, so
I mean, they've got one loss.
most people do. I mean, most people think
Yeah.
Texas hung the moon. So
I think it's going to be Texas, Tennessee, and SEC championship.
I think the
There, I said it.
Sarkinator down there, the Sarkinator.
You didn't even hear what I just said.
Okay, tell me.
No, you'll have to watch.
I'll have to watch.
No, Texas, Tennessee, SEC championship.
Is that what you're predicting?
Yep.
I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe bet. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about what Florida has coming up, because this is a brutal schedule.
Yeah. So they have 3 games left, starting with LSU, then Ole Miss, and then at Florida State. So they, to me, will lose 2 out of the next 3.
They're going to be playing LSU, Ole Miss, and then Florida State. And Florida State is
So
a give me, because Florida State is the only
yeah,
one that's just
Florida
falling
State
apart.
is bad. Mercer might be able to beat Florida State.
Mercer's going to beat
Seriously.
Florida State.
Could if they played. I'd like to see that.
I don't think you'd watch that game, would you? Would you really? Would you
After
really
I
watch
made this
Mercer?
statement, I would. Yeah, after I made the statement, yeah.
I should have got some. I should have got some Irish Screamer for this.
Ooh.
You couldn't do that. You'd have to drive home.
Yeah, yeah. One day I may Uber here.
Get Mama to drop you off.
Tonight would have been a good night. I don't have to work tomorrow, so that's good.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, back to this. I think Florida's going 5-7 at best. And what were they like? Like, I think he's gone. I don't care what they said right now. when it's all said and done, he gets fired at the end of the year.
I just think that was a bad decision on Florida's behalf. You know, Tom felt like that they're not going to fire him because they're in an interim president right now.
And okay, I can agree. That could be a good point because a president or athletic director.
I think this was the conversation we were having.
Yeah, and we couldn't.
Tom
figure it
thought
out.
that the athletic director was interim as well.
If the athletic director is in interim, then I can see it because most of the time,
Jason says Notre Dame crushed FSU.
yeah, FSU sucks, Jason.
I know, Jason. Notre Dame
Yeah.
crushes everybody. I
You
got
better
your
hope
message.
they beat Army. You better be
If
thinking
they
about
don't beat Army, you're going to hear it from
Oh,
us,
man,
man.
that's
We're
gonna
going
be
to
a
wear
great
you
show.
out, bro. This is an SEC show, but we're going to be talking. We're going to be
Yep.
talking that game.
Oh yeah. Because early on he put Notre Dame is going to beat
First
Army.
thing he said right out
Yeah.
the gate.
Well, you better hope to
Ooh.
goodness
Ooh.
that they beat Army.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to SEC.
Yeah.
I think Florida's going 5-7, and Napier is gone.
Okay. Over
What was
under.
the good-
Hey, you're welcome
Yeah.
to folks. You're welcome
Oh,
to
yeah.
chat that into the chat if you even care. Maybe there's not a lot of people who care, but
Is this LSU Florida? I picked cover. Oh yeah,
we already picked on this one. Didn't I pick on this one
yeah. I think you did not,
too? No, I did not.
but you're gonna.
I said
you're
LSU
on
was gonna
board with
cover.
Yeah.
4 seems too small. I don't think Florida, even in the swamp,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be.
Yeah, and give us
Jason says
Oh.
Notre Dame at UT for the first round, and I'm sure Jason's saying Notre Dame's going to beat UT.
that's and right
Yeah.
now, if the playoffs started today, and you have it somewhere to bring up, but that is the game right now. If it all ended today, that's the matchup right now. It's an 8-9 matchup. Tennessee gets the host. I think
Notre Dame's going to get slaughtered.
they would. Yeah.
Yep. I tell you, Samson's just going to walk
But-
right through their line.
I could be wrong, but the way UT's playing right now, they're going to be they're going to move up.
It's all about the defense.
So they're going to move up.
Okay, yeah, but you would have thought that, right? But then all of a sudden, BYU and Indiana come out of nowhere and keep them down.
I'm not saying they'll be one of the top 4. I mean, if they win the SEC championship, yeah, they'll be one of.
No,
they'll
I'm
get a
talking about
bye.
like they stuck them at 7 still.
Yeah, that's fine. No, they're 8 right now, and that's fine. Let it keep going, because some of the other SECs are going to drop a note. I bet they could be 5 or 6 when it's all.
Let's
said
talk
and
about
done.
New Mexico State and Texas A&M, and then we'll start talking a little bit about
Okay.
the championship
All
stuff
right. We
because this
jumping
is
the
going to
gun?
be. Yeah, we're
So
jumping the gun.
jumping
At least my gun. I mean, I don't know what gun you got, but
Jumping the shark. That's
we're
another saying.
jumping the shark.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't that what Ole Miss is now? Is the Sharks
the land shark.
land?
Yeah,
And that's going to be Vanderbilt's problem if they lose Pavia. So
possibly.
Yep. So
But
was
in
it
the
Clark?
off season,
Clark needs to figure out how to use the portal. or
he
something.
will in the off season hit because that's how he got.
That's how he
Pavia.
got
I think
Pavia
he'll
in the
be
first
fine.
place.
Now, if you're talking about if he gets hurt during this season, yeah, it's going
I'm
to be
talking
tough.
about going into next year.
Oh, he'll find somebody. I think this year is going to help him big time in
Recruiting, right?
Well, not
Because now
just
he can show a
recruiting.
quarterback that, hey, look, you
Not
can be a
just-
superstar.
Yeah, not just recruiting, but namely portal. He can get out there, find somebody that wants to leave where they're at now, and bring them in.
And wants to be a rock star.
Yeah, I think so. I think this helps him. Could be wrong, but I don't see them dipping. I can see this is going to be good for Vandy.
Well, people see the possibility of Vandy, right?
Yeah.
Vandy, just by the nature of being in the SEC, it opens a lot of doors.
And with all the renovation, like next year.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
all
they're gonna have
that's
that
gonna be
brand new
done.
stadium,
It's going to
too.
look nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't think about that. That's even
yeah,
bigger.
good things coming. Who you picking in this? 39's a lot.
39's a big spread. And honestly, I hadn't really thought about this game. I should have. I'm going to talk a little bit about where the Aggies are going. But I don't see.
Good gracious. They let Jacksonville State score 54 points.
I don't know,
And New
maybe-
Mexico. And I don't know how good.
But they scored 40. So
Yeah. New Mexico's never been good for a long time.
25 spread. Man, this is a close call on this one. I don't.
39's a lot. Texas A&M's not a offensive juggernaut. They like to run the ball a lot. So Like, I don't know how much you score running. I don't know.
Is it going to be high enough scoring? 39 points. So just so you know, if you go out there to pick, secfootballreview.com, go to our picks. Texas A&M is predicted to be by 39. I'm going to go not cover on this one.
Not cover.
I did not see Texas A&M. And I'm gonna also kind of go down a rabbit's hole, if that's okay with you, Michael.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because, Texas A&M, they're 7-2, but they kind of have, for me, they have a very much a drinky feel. And when I say a drinky feel, I'm not feeling them. Okay.
Yeah.
And this may, so Notre Dame beat them, right? So Jason's going to be thrilled to have this conversation.
Yeah.
They did beat Florida, but it was close. And this is when Florida was early in the season. They were terrible. They did beat Arkansas, but guess what? That was close. They beat Drinky.
Yeah.
They beat Drinky really bad, right?
Yeah.
And Drinky back then was listed as number 9, so they thought Drinkowitz was something special.
Yeah.
He still thinks he's something special based on the clip I showed
He's
you
in
in
the
the show.
playoff hunt.
I'm in the playoff hunt. I got to take that clip and put it on the board.
Yeah. We should post it on Facebook, too.
They did beat Mississippi State, but they only beat Mississippi State by like 10.
Mississippi State's scrappy, but they ain't no good.
And they beat LSU, but I don't think LSU is all that special.
Oh, wait.
And then you see what they did at South Carolina.
Yeah, yeah.
And South Carolina was revealing as to the truth.
I think Texas A&M obviously wins this week. I think they beat Auburn, and then they probably get stomped by Texas.
They're going to get beat by Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm actually going to go with that. And actually, that's going to fall right the way it's supposed to fall for me to have Ole Miss go into the SEC championship.
Is that right? They're showing first in the SEC because they only have one.
They're
SEC
tied for
loss.
first in the SEC, I think, with Tennessee.
Yeah, because
so them and Tennessee
one.
both have one SEC loss.
Yeah.
So they will not end with just one SEC loss.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think they're going to lose to Texas.
But still, 2 SEC losses may get.
It may still get them in.
Yeah.
I know.
Which is crazy.
Which is why I'm going to be rooting for Auburn. So
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to beat them, but I'm going to root for them anyway.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see this kind of.
Ooh.
I know you want to see everybody be like 8-2. But I'd like to see it spread out a little bit. I don't like that.
I think it still will. I don't think
We'll talk about the SEC.
big
Do we
a-
not want to talk about that right now?
the big log jam that could be and the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to save it for the end of the show?
Well, we got 2 big games left.
Yeah, we got quite a few. So, looking at Texas A&M, the reason why I wanted to bring up Texas A&M exclusively to say that, right, we've got how many SEC losses right now?
One.
Mm-hmm. The one SEC loss was to South Carolina. It was a handy loss. South Carolina beat them 44-20, right? They're still playing Auburn. That's another SEC game, and Texas. And I'm going to be rooting for Auburn. I don't know whether or not they're going to be able to pull it off. I'm not a huge Hugh Freeze fan, but this particular game I will be because I would like to see Texas A&M get their full colors exposed.
It is at home.
It is at Auburn.
I think. Yeah, at home. At Auburn.
The War Eagle.
Yeah.
Screech! I wonder if I could get an eagle sound that we could play every time we talk about Auburn. We need to do that. That'd be great if we had like a soundboard for each one of the teams. Every team had like a for the dogs or something. That'd be fun. I don't know what kind of sound.
How many
What kind of sound do you have for Texas?
A longhorn? I don't know. Snorting maybe.
Snorting? I don't know. I have to find
What's
that
an
sound.
Aggie make?
But doesn't the Aggies have the border collie or the
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
Goldie?
Yeah.
Is it Goldie?
Yeah.
I can't remember the mascot. I think it's.
I don't know if his name's Goldie.
Dogs are kind of like a thing. I mean, in the SEC, there's a lot of teams with dogs.
Yeah, there is. Jason Hood, I agree. Florida is terrible. I just wanted to recognize that he chimed in.
Hey, thanks for letting us know that, Jason. Appreciate.
He's a big Alabama guy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Jason Jared doesn't like you now. Sorry.
Alabama was terrible back when I was at school. So,
Yeah.
Those are the days that Reagan never wants to talk about.
He wants to talk about Bear Bryant.
Bear Bryant and now. I mean, Saban really did.
It's
did
been a
number with
while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
they've been
really
going.
made them something special.
So what was we talking about?
We
Texas,
were getting
Arkansas?
ready to talk about Texas.
Okay.
And now we're going to start talking about the real deal. Okay, so when I say we're talking about the real deal, this one here I think may actually make some real big determinations.
Oh, Jason said Alabama was terrible when he was there too. He's about our age, so
Oh, is he?
would have been when. Yeah, I think he's mid-40s.
So Jason is a Vols guy too?
No. He's an Alabama guy.
Oh, he
But-
was at Alabama? Was he going to Alabama?
Yeah, he went to Alabama. He's from Alabama. Well, look, he just
Oh.
said when I was there too. Which I've talked to
That
him.
would be
yeah,
terrible to be at Alabama.
in
Whenever they
the
were terrible, that would
mid
have
late
been miserable.
90s.
Yeah, that would have been miserable.
Yeah. So yeah, Texas.
Okay, so
Arkansas.
Texas versus Arkansas. So now this kind of brings. I think this is a good time to bring up that little graphic that I was talking about. What do you think?
You want to bring it up?
Let's start that conversation. Okay, so
playoff,
I don't really look at X a lot, but I thought this was kind of interesting. And I'm trying to remember when this actually came out. This may be kind of dated. But when you look at the ranked wins,
Oh yeah.
right? So
I saw this earlier and thought this would be good. I'm glad you.
number
saw it
3,
too.
Texas, 0 ranked wins. Number 4, Penn State, 0 ranked. Now, I don't know.
Penn State has lost at this point. So.
But what I'm saying is that I don't know that this is true. I'm not completely confident that this is true. I haven't looked at the data to confirm that this guy is right. But if he is right, maybe this is a little bit of a red flag that, Texas could actually lose. Now, Jason's going to hate this image because he talks about Notre Dame losing
Oh yeah.
5-4
Well, we
Northern
got
Illinois.
two Jasons. We need to say Hood and Williams.
Hood and Williams, that's right. So
Yeah.
Williams will be not too thrilled about this image. But when we look at Indiana, right, Indiana was bumped up higher than Tennessee in the rankings, right?
Yeah.
And Texas is considered like the best in the SEC, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Well, this guy's
Texas'
argument-
only serious game was what? Georgia. And they what?
They lost. Yeah.
So, and when we look at the rest of the season, and we're going to talk about that next.
But is this guy?
This guy's a
claiming-
Georgia fan, clearly.
Yeah, clearly he is.
Clearly a Georgia fan. And I'm not worried about the math. I just thought this was very interesting when they pointed out Texas, and that leads us into our next conversation.
For me to argue against him, my first thing would to say to him, Notre Dame, Indiana. Well, Indiana has 0 losses. I don't care that they have 0 ranked
Undefeated.
wins. Penn State now has 1 loss, so I think this has been a little bit. Penn State has dropped. I don't think they're not. Yeah, they're not even in.
They're not.
Yeah,
They're
they're ranked 4th, but 6th seed. So they have 1 loss, only 1 loss. Indiana has no losses. Texas has 1 loss, and Notre Dame has 1 loss. I know it was Northern Illinois. I get it. But Georgia, you have 2 losses. I know Ole Miss and Alabama. But you also had a 1-point squeaker win against Kentucky. So don't tell me this bull crap.
what's the kitty cat sound? Okay.
Yeah. And Kentucky's awful. So you got lucky there.
Stoopy.
So
Hang on, Stoopy. Hang
yeah,
on.
Like this guy's acting like Georgia's getting a screw job right now.
Well, there's a lot of people
Hey,
that feel like that.
you
They're going to
beat-
find out otherwise this next week, won't they?
What I'd like to tell him, you beat Tennessee this week, you're back in the playoffs.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
And
You beat
quit
Tennessee,
crying.
you're back in the game.
Yeah. And then get a chance to play Penn State Indiana or Notre Dame.
Play your way in.
Improve it, yeah.
Play your way in and prove
Win
it.
this week and then talk.
Yep. Let's talk more action.
Until then, shut up, coffee. No, I mean, if it was like all them other teams had 2 losses too, okay. But I don't know.
Well, and this
That's my rant.
seems like a hot button item when we talk about like 2 losses versus undefeateds. But these undefeateds, though, I mean, who are they playing? And this goes back to what I was just talking about, right? So Texas is going to be playing Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arkansas is 5-4, right? They are Tennessee's 1 loss, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So they're not chump change, and
No.
and you know, if Texas goes into Arkansas, this is at Arkansas, and I'm gonna be shouting Suey all the way because I'd like to see Texas
Well,
face
of course you would.
real competition, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Texas loses to Arkansas, that puts them what, 2 losses,
yeah. Yeah, 2 losses.
right? And now we've got the logjam of how many teams with 2 losses.
Hate to burst your bubble, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah,
But let's say it does.
the log jam would be huge. It would be everybody. At
This
that
is when I
point.
think we should start talking about your logjam numbers.
It would be everybody but Tennessee and Texas A&M at that point. Before
they play Texas A&M. Right?
Yeah.
Then they beat Texas A&M. That leaves Tennessee, assuming Tennessee beats Georgia, Tennessee
Yeah.
would be the only 1-loss team. Mm-hmm. Right? So that secures an SEC spot for Tennessee for the SEC championship. Now, so let's chase down this rabbit hole, right?
And we don't have to get into how many. Let's say there's 3 2-loss teams,
So can my theory about Ole Miss happen?
in Tennessee, Ole Miss, and the SEC championship.
Can that happen? That's the question.
It's possible,
Texas has
but
2
very
losses.
unlikely. I mean,
Texas
very
A&M
unlikely.
has 2 losses. Georgia would have 3 losses at that point.
Yeah.
Bama, who does Bama play? Bama won't lose anymore, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I'm trying to remember who else they play after this. Do you remember?
Auburn's. Yeah.
In the Iron Bowl. Auburn's
Yeah.
going to play up for the Iron Bowl.
No, shut up. No.
Okay, I'm
So
going
Alabama
to
has
be
2
screeching
losses.
the War Eagle twice.
Yeah.
Twice. They're not going to lose to Oklahoma. That's
No,
a
and they're
clear.
not going to lose. Let's just say
Speaking
for
of
this
hot
argument,
seats, that's a hot seat.
let's say for this argument, Alabama's 2
And of course,
losses.
Drinky would sit there and say he's still got a chance too, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I don't. Yeah. So let's say I don't know 3, 4 2-loss teams. Tennessee's sitting there at 7-1. Who's Tennessee going to play? It goes to a tiebreaker. They look at head-to-head. So let's say
is head-to-head the number 1 priority?
Yeah, that's number 1 priority of tiebreaker.
So this is so for those of you who are trying to figure this one out, right? Michael actually did some of the research here.
Yeah.
So if you know that Michael's wrong, please chat it in the chat. But
So
he did a
first
lot of
off
digging.
Would be head-to-head.
Head-to-head.
Second would be, let's say they didn't play head-to-head. The second one is record versus common conference opponents. So what's their record? Did they both beat X team?
Jason Hood says this all sounds like Common Core math.
Yes. Yeah. If you can't find a tiebreaker after that, the third one is record against highest placed common opponent. And I don't really know what that one
Highest placed common opponent.
Yeah.
So that's going to be highest ranked or highest
against
placed
highest-
at the
yeah.
time, or that's complicated.
Yeah, it is. And then after that is a cumulative, that's a hard word for me, conference winning percentage of opponents. So
So
who
there
has
is a lot
better-
of numbers.
Yes. There's a lot.
Have we
in
gotten to
there.
the hat yet?
No. But then after that would be capped relative total scoring margin. So what is the margin between?
Man, they're trying their best not to
Right.
have this.
And then if all of that fails, which there's no way,
I'm ready.
their last one, and this is crazy, and this is where I told you I'd be so mad if
Michael
this
said he's
happens.
going to go protest if this happens.
I would go down to the SEC office, take one of these trinkets behind me, and throw it through their window.
Make sure it's the Thanos
The very
trinket.
last one, if none of this they can figure out who is second to play UT or whoever, would be a random draw. How mad, how mad would everybody be?
Random draw. Stick them in the big wheel, spin it around,
Pick one out and go,
pick one out and
you
go.
get to play.
You get to play it. You random draw.
I would be
Winner,
furious.
winner, chicken dinner.
It better never come to that. That would be ridiculous. Like, you couldn't come up with a better idea, which
Boom shakalaka.
you heard there's
That's a clear boom.
I mean, you got to get through 1, 2,
Now, there's
3,
a lot
4,
of steps,
5,
right? I mean, there's a
6.
lot of
Yeah.
statistics that they got to get through. I don't know how they're going to make it through all those statistics. That seems like a very impossible thing.
Well, you still have 3 games. I think it's going to get.
But I don't know that anybody would have ever thought that we'd be in this position right now
No.
anyway.
But this is what I'll say: the college playoff has made all this, and that's what's fun. Speculation, talking, getting people's opinions, arguing about it.
It's
That's
opened the
what
door
make-
for teams that don't make it to the championship. Because in the past, it would have been what? The SEC championship teams have a chance to play in the national championship. Otherwise, too bad, too sad.
Yeah, and it makes it more fun for talking for this.
And so a team that had 2 losses in the past, the assumption would be, no, you're not going.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You're
now
out.
2 losses, 2 lost teams are still talking about making the SEC championship game.
Well,
Much
I think this
less
season
making-
I think this season is a unique thing. But when we had the
Yeah.
divisions, right, I can see what you're saying is if you had 2 losses in division structure, you're
not-
done.
Yeah, yeah. But this is fun. This is what the talk's about. Because 2 lost teams are then going, well, we'll at least make the playoffs. Don't lose the third one.
Well, and it makes
that's
you
where
it
that
makes you
little-
want to watch more games,
Yeah.
right? I want to watch more games because I want to see what everybody else is doing.
It's going to, all the way the last 3, what is it? November 30th is the last week. Everybody's still going to be tuned in because there's still going to be who wins this and loses this will maybe get you in the playoffs, maybe get you in the conference championship game.
And you could have a surprise like Stoopy beating Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a pot. I know you're going to say, nah, statistically that ain't going to
No,
happen.
I don't see
Chance
it the
of
way
Kentucky beating Texas is nothing.
I mean, it's why
But-
they play
but
the game.
That's why they play the
Yeah.
game. It's still possible,
No.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody would have predicted that Vandy would have beaten Alabama.
No, you're right.
And so when we look at it, right, I mean, there's still possibilities out there. I still think there's a possibility that Ole Miss makes the SEC championship with Tennessee.
It's a long. I don't think so, but guess what? We get to watch and see.
We get to watch and
that's
see.
what's fun.
We get to
Now
watch
I
and
do
see.
think. Earlier in the year, I said Ole Miss won't make the college playoffs, but now I think they will, unless
you're
they
putting them in
mess
the
around.
playoff now, huh?
Yeah, I am, and I think
Interesting.
that little coffee guy, whoever tweeted that out, I think his little Georgia team's done if they don't.
Yeah, Georgia's gonna.
Yeah.
Georgia. We'll talk about that game here in a minute.
Yeah. So what do we do, Texas?
So Texas by 12. I'm going to say Texas does not cover.
Not
Texas by
covered.
12. Go out there, pick your picks with us, please. SECFootballReview.com. We love it when more people are picking with us. So we'd love to break our pick record. I
I'm
think
gonna-
our pick record's what, 10?
Yeah, 10 people. That's included. Yeah.
So if we can get 11 people
yeah,
to
let's
pick
go
this
for
week,
11 pickers.
get 11 pickers, that would be our record. So
Yeah.
I'm all about a little bit of core math records.
So if you're watching
good.
and you haven't,
Hey,
join the survey,
if you're
do
watching
it
at
this
all,
week,
please fill out the survey. It's not that hard. SECFootballReview.com. Click the pick link, and you can do it on your phone. And it only takes a few seconds. It's only 10 questions.
and you hate this plug, subscribe to our YouTube page too, please. Last week you were like, why are we asking them to subscribe? And we got
well,
more.
it's just I watch so many YouTube videos, and they're always plugging the subscribe.
But
It's
I
just
know
so
why they
annoying.
do. I mean,
I know it's the
If we don't get-
algorithm. I got it.
yeah.
I got it. I understand. I
No,
did
and-
social media. I've got all this craziness. But
but why? In the end, yeah, we have fun just talking and doing this. But if we're gonna do it, might as well try to
might
get
as well
people
try to grow.
watch. Yeah,
Might as well try to
right?
grow.
Yeah, come on, grow with me. Grow with me, Jared.
We'll hold hands together.
Yeah.
Kumbaya.
I like turtles.
Okay, Texas
Yeah.
number 3 at Arkansas. Texas by 12. And you said you're going to pick what?
I went no cover too.
Texas does not cover.
Yeah, I'm nervous about it. I think they will because, man, they've been blowing out.
I'm going to tell you right
Some
now,
bad
I
teams.
think Arkansas is going to win.
Oof.
Arkansas is going to win. So,
Well, I'm not going to.
oh, did I put this in here twice? I think I put
Yeah,
this
you
in here
did.
twice.
Well, that's why we couldn't add a fun question.
Did I screw this survey up? I don't know, maybe. So, this
Just
is
pick
going to give
one
you, it will give you a freebie on this one because I screwed up the survey. I'm not going to change it again.
No.
Found out when I change the survey, it screws everything up. So,
Yeah. Man.
I made a mistake. We always do this survey right before the show. And then we talk about what order we want to talk about them in. And whenever I create the survey, I'm kind of trying to create it to time
Yeah.
against the time, against the run.
I'm gonna have to talk to the bosses. This is 2 weeks in a row you've messed up. See if they can't reprimand you. The real imaginary bosses we have.
Or the audience. The audience is going to be all booing.
Yeah.
We don't have a boo.
Boo! If you're watching, put boo in the
What
chat
is that
right now.
purple one? What is that?
Bazinga.
Yeah.
Bazinga.
We could replace that one.
That's the one we need to have the boo on.
Yeah. I'll boo you. God, I
mean, I liked Bazinga, but I don't really know that I like
Yeah.
Bazinga as much anymore.
You could replace the buzzer. That's kind of like my boo.
I kind of like the buzzer.
Okay, then replace Bazinga.
I like the old school buzzers and Bob Barker. And
Bob Barker's gonna stay.
That's gonna stay for forever.
Yeah, I won't ever argue with that.
And I like turtles. That's
Yeah.
got to be my favorite one of all
Man,
of
you
them, I
laugh
think.
every time
we
I
play
hit
it.
that button. You
It's
laugh.
great.
So
It's great.
that kid, he saves us
He
sometimes.
saves us. He saved us multiple times.
Yeah.
So we start going down a tank. Oh, the solution is just hit. I
Just
like turtles.
don't pick it.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick it anyway. It doesn't matter.
I'm not giving you I'm not giving you bonus points.
It's fine. It's fine. I
No,
may lose
I don't
it.
like it being fine. Oh yeah, it'd be 2 losses. If
be
you
2
lose it, I
losses.
will give you 2 losses. If you win, I'm giving you 1 win. Yeah.
Folks, just know that question number 7, lucky number 7, we'll give it to you for free. You'll get a freebie out of it, and I get punished out of it
Yep.
because I'm winning. So.
I need pizza.
Okay,
All right, next game.
Very exciting, very exciting. Now this one, I am pumped about. You know why? Because it is drinky, and everyone has realized how much drinky sucks. So
What a crush you have on Drinkowitz. I think you do. You talk
actually,
about him so
no, Beamer.
much.
I'm all about Beamer. I like Beamer
Yeah,
ball.
you have talked about Beamer.
I like Beamer.
Man,
Beamer reminds me of
torn.
Spurrier, even though I hate Spurrier. Maybe that is a problem that I have, is I have this aggressive hatred towards.
Yeah, well, Beamer is he's got South Carolina playing tough.
Yeah, they're on fire right now, and that's why Vegas has decided that it's South Carolina
This
by
is
14.
crazy. Yeah,
And the truth of the matter is that I don't think South Carolina is going to cover, but I still think South Carolina is going to win.
yeah. I think they win for sure.
I was shocked at this. I did not expect to see a 14-point spread in the favor of South Carolina, especially after Drinky just got done telling everybody about how he's
is
going to be
Brady
in the,
Cook still out?
I
That
don't
would
know.
be my question here.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
It didn't necessarily mean much against Oklahoma, but South Carolina's defense.
Is Brady Cook playing this week?
He's doubtful. Oh man, South Carolina's rolling. I don't know. I don't know if they cover. I want to take them. You know what? I'm going to take them to cover.
I think that Drinky is going to do enough to say that he's still in it.
You're going to say no cover? You think he's going to win?
I think he's going to do enough to think he's still in it.
No. If they lose this, they're not making the playoff. Their schedule has not been strong.
I agree.
If he loses one more, 3 conference losses, no. Mm-mm.
I don't think he's going to win this one. They didn't look good last game.
Yeah.
But I've also thought they weren't going to win anything.
Well, you have this
And they just...
weird.
But who did they play in the last game, though?
Oklahoma.
And they just barely won.
Oklahoma's not good yet. I don't think. South Carolina covers. What do you say? That's what I say.
Kind of split on this cover, not cover.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it tough.
This is Is that right?
This is South Carolina. Yeah, that's South Carolina.
And they beat Vandy 28-7. I don't remember that.
That was the last weekend. Where were you?
Yeah, what was I? Oh, that was when Pavia got hurt.
Yeah. Because you were mad that Vandy
And
let you down.
They doubled A&M.
Yeah, they're on a roll right now. Man. They only lost by 2 to Alabama. They're better than we thought they were. And it makes that Ole Miss win
Makes it look better, doesn't
impressive. Yeah.
it? Head to head, huh?
That's good coffee.
It's a head to head.
This
Yeah, but it
just
wouldn't have mattered though
confirms-
because South Carolina's not in the hunt for the SEC championship at this point.
No, but they're up. I mean,
I don't know. Now you're making me think I need to change my position on this.
What are you saying? No cover?
I feel like this spread should have been closer.
Go with your gut, man.
I don't feel like the spread should be that wide.
I'm starting to write no for you.
Okay, I'm going to pick not cover.
All right.
And you said you're going to pick cover, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this'll. Are you sure you're going to pick against me?
Nah.
You sure going to pick against me here?
I wish.
I'm struggling on this one. I got to be honest. I'm struggling on this one because South Carolina is playing so well. But I feel like Drinkowitz always finds a way to keep it close.
Yeah.
And,
That's a good little point, but I don't think I
don't think he's going to win it. I don't think he's going
it's
to win
at
it.
South Carolina and at home, man. Is it a night game? If it's a night game, look out, Jack. South Carolina.
Oh yeah, the
played
Sandstorm. I think we talked about that
Yeah, we
before,
did.
didn't we? Is it a night game? It's a 3:15
afternoon.
game. It's an afternoon game.
But
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
rolling
That's
right now.
That's got me. I'm done.
No cover.
They're not going to cover.
Okay.
No.
If it was a night game, would it change your mind?
It might.
Yeah.
It might.
Well,
But it ain't going to be a night
good.
game.
I want you're gonna lose.
It ain't going to be a night game. And Drinky's.
He's not winning. They're not winning.
Yeah, I don't think they're winning either.
All right. Then we go to the big game of the week. That's that's a huge game.
So, I mean, everybody knows that the Tennessee-Georgia game is the game of the week. And
yeah.
this shocked me when I first saw it. 9.5. Apparently, it's going towards Georgia.
I want to see
What do you want to see?
if anybody's commented.
Oh. Yep. I don't even know what was Williams yipping for. I don't know what he was yipping.
Common Core math. I don't know. But anywho, yeah, this has surprised me.
Boo. Jason says boo.
Good.
Williams says boo. Okay. So I guess he was booing me for saying
yeah.
that no cover. I don't know.
No, back. Remember we said everybody to boo you when we were talking about the boo, but you done forgot. Man, you're old. Your mind is like 91.
Yeah, just ask. I'm losing it. I'm getting old.
But yeah, this is a big game.
But obviously, I'm not that old because my picks are saying otherwise.
yeah, I don't know. I think you study and not
Gonna be
tell me
studying
about
Ole
it.
Miss in the SEC championship.
It's not possible.
Okay, so Tennessee versus
Yeah.
Georgia, 9.5 point spread in favor of Georgia. I say Tennessee wins this. I can't believe this spread is so high. I can't
Yeah, that
believe it. And
seems-
the only thing I can think of is that they're assuming that Nico is not going to be healthy.
Right.
And they're assuming that Nico is required to win this game. And I'm not convinced of either one of those. I think Nico's going to be in the game. And I don't think Nico's required to win the game. Because Dylan Sampson is a rock star. And that offensive line is putting it down. That defensive line is putting it down. Like, Tennessee's defense is not going to allow
defense,
Georgia
yeah.
to do anything. If you look at what happened last week with Georgia, not going to do anything.
Tennessee's defense in my mind is better than Ole Miss.
Yep. And Ole Miss's defense shut Georgia down.
And Ole Miss defense is not bad.
No,
but-
I think they're good defense,
Yeah.
but they're just not a Tennessee defense. And this makes me go back to that comment where everybody was shocked at Tennessee's defense early in the season, and Josh Heupel goes,
No, he warned everybody. He kept telling everybody.
he let them know, hey, we are a team of defense. We play defense, and they've done it. They've
Yeah.
done it. They've done it. And it's funny because it seemed like during that Ole Miss game, they were talking about how Kiffin went to the portal and got all his defensive players out of the portal.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm not a Tennessee guy. I don't like Tennessee, but I think like I'll go if I can get 9.5 when I get out of here on my phone and bet. I'm gonna put bets on Tennessee.
Oh, you're going to take Tennessee with the money, real money.
Yeah, I'll get
Not
on
just
my
pizza.
app at home. Yeah, no, yeah.
Doing more
I'd
than
bet-
just pizza.
I'd bet pizza too if I could, but that seems weird. I don't know because I think Gaston, the backup quarterback, I'm like you. Even if Nico doesn't play,
He'll do enough.
yeah, he can manage the game, and then
All he's got to do is throw a few cross routes across the middle.
just manage.
That was Peyton
Yeah.
Manning's thing, man. He could just pop those cross routes
Yeah.
like it was nobody's business.
The lean on Samson with the running game.
A
That's gonna
couple long passes that
play
just
it,
hang
open
out
up,
there,
play
open it
action.
up. Yep.
Yep.
He doesn't have to do much. He doesn't have to be super exact.
Yeah, and they don't have to score 35, 40, 45 points.
All they got to do is shut down Georgia.
Yeah, you get with you get 21 points, 20, 21, 3 touchdowns. You add a field goal in there. 21,
I
24
mean, can you
is
even
enough.
remember who Georgia's running back is?
That's the one that may be out. That ETN. We looked at it before the show started, right? Yeah, that's who.
Is
they
it
were saying.
Jason? It was Hood. No, it was Williams who said ETN was going to be out.
I thought wasn't somebody. I thought we read it. He's downgraded to out. For this game.
And they're still giving Georgia a 9.5
Yeah,
without a running game.
I don't know if they're just. I'm not sure what the thinking is.
Everybody
here.
thinks Carson Beck is something great. I saw this meme talking about how Carson Beck had like that fancy car.
That the same way we said Pavia was focused on a lawsuit trying to get another year.
All these guys trying to focus on this
This guy
NIL is going
taking
to screw
pictures
them.
with his Lamborghini.
They're going to get screwed,
And
man.
Carson Beck hasn't. Now, to Pavia's credit, he's been good up until, maybe
Until
he got a
his
little
lawsuit.
sidetracked about that. Yeah. But Beck's been bad all year.
And he was good last year.
Yeah,
so,
I think he's
just
just-
not putting in the work.
Well, he's a young kid. He's got a Lamborghini. He's got money. I think that's kind of sidetracked him. And that's kind of, as you get into NIL, is that what you're going to start to get?
So if you're an
with some of these
offensive
players.
lineman and your quarterback that you're supposed to be protecting is flashing all his money around in a Lambo, are you really that concerned about protecting him?
I don't know. Unless he's giving you some money. I don't know.
I would say that answer to that is no,
Man,
and
I
that's why
go-
Georgia's doing what they're doing.
I go to the old classic, like if I'm a quarterback, even in college, whatever money I was getting under the table, and now with NIL, I'm buying them beers. I'm hanging out with my offensive line.
Well, and you and
I'm
I
taking
talked about
care of
how Nico actually bought everybody
Yeah, was that
Beats.
true?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
They all got. They bought the whole team Beats headsets.
yeah. I would do that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do something to make sure that your offensive line is
Yes.
taken care of.
Yeah,
Because if they ain't taken care of, you ain't taken care
yeah,
of.
possibly. And so I don't know. Maybe Georgia bounces
I mean,
back.
it doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't have an offensive line, you're done.
Yeah, or you treat them like crap, and they decide. It's easy to miss a block on purpose and
Yep.
make it look like, oh,
Ooh, I was blocking nobody.
yeah,
What do you mean you were blocking nobody?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just block?
And I don't know if that's the case, right? I don't know for sure, but I tell you, if it's easier to play for a guy if you like him.
Yep.
Like, oh man, I don't want you to get hurt.
Yep.
We're buddies. But if I think you're arrogant,
If I hate you,
what am I going? Other than trying to. I mean, obviously they're trying to play. Maybe some of them can get in the NFL, so that's why you don't. But who's to say, like, one every 30 plays, you just go, I'm gonna let this guy light him up. We're up by 20. What does it matter if he gets sacked, right? Yeah. Especially if you're up. Who's gonna? You just. Well, yeah. If you think he's, I'm gonna let him get drilled. But I don't know. I don't see the way Georgia's been playing, unless Vegas thinks it's a bounce back and they're seeing something I'm not, which could be true. I'm not an expert at all.
So when we talk about this one, right, go out and make your picks, folks.
Yeah.
Georgia cover, not cover. So this is Georgia covering or not covering.
Yeah, and I think you probably know both of our by the way we just talked.
Yeah, we're going to say Georgia doesn't cover this.
Yeah, I might even take, and I hate Tennessee, but I might take a money line. I mean, which
Yeah, because money line is the one where
if they win, you get better odds.
if they win, you get paid.
Yeah.
Well, everybody go out and make your picks, secfootballreview.com. And I thought we were going to touch on the playoff piece a little bit. And I don't remember. What are you pointing at?
I'm going to see.
Oh, see what.
Yeah, you get. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, I've got other windows
I've
open.
seen how far in, yeah.
I got anxious over issues we were having with technology, and now I'm not.
Makes you nervous.
It's making me nervous that the equipment's not going to work, and so I'm looking at things that I shouldn't be looking at.
We were talking about that South
No,
Carolina
Jason,
game.
I'm not looking at Notre Dame statistics.
They said it gets dark at 3:30. Because I asked you if it was going to be a night game. Yeah. Which
It's
by the end of the
starting
game,
to
it'll
feel
be-
like
yeah.
it's getting dark at 3:30, though, isn't it?
Well, by the end of that game, it will be dark.
3:30, 4 o'clock. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and they're East Coast.
Yeah, it is
Sunset's
getting-
on the west,
Yeah, but they're 1 hour difference from us.
so they're yeah. It's a 3-hour game. It'll be 6:30. It will be dark in South Carolina at 6:30. It'll be 5:30 our time and dark.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Jeez, and you taught kids math. Gee whiz.
When does it get dark in it's Columbia, right?
Yeah. South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, Fort Jackson, Relaxing Jackson. It'll get dark at 5:20.
Yeah. The game will go at least 3 hours.
So your prediction is that when it gets dark, South Carolina's going to take over.
No, night games are. I mean, that's the same they say down in Death Valley at LSU. A night game is crazy. UT.
But that was a night game, and they got smoked.
Yeah, but typically.
Typically.
Same with you go anywhere at night.
Anywhere a
the
night
fans
game,
are crazier.
fans are
They're
crazier.
drunker. I'm serious. That's all part of it. They're wild. And you said it yourself. The Texas A&M when South Carolina killed them. You were talking about that song they play all the time. That's at night. Everybody's fired up.
Yeah. What was it? Sandstorm or whatever it is?
You flip flop from 1 week to the next.
Cockle
on
diddle
stuff.
do.
Cockle diddle do.
I like turtles.
But yeah. So this has been a fun week. Is this it? We got anything else?
Roosters don't say caca.
No, they say. I'm about to embarrass myself.
They say it's football time in South Carolina.
Yeah.
That used to be Steve Spurrier's thing, man.
Sir Spur or whatever.
The Big Spur. That's it. Big Spur. We had a whole. Didn't we have like a whole
we
30
don't need to
minutes
go-
on Big Spur?
Yeah,
I
back
gotta
when
look
we
up the
weren't-
Texas A&M mascot. I should know that. Reagan would know that. He
Little
knows everything about
collie
mascots. Yeah.
Yeah. Fill out a survey, subscribe, YouTube. This has been fun. We enjoy doing this. We're starting to put out more. He's out. Who's out? I don't know.
I don't know who's out. ETN, I guess, is who's talking.
Oh, yeah, ETN. Yeah. He is. That's going to be, that'll be something to talk about next week. If Georgia doesn't,
I think
and I
Tennessee's
don't-
going to seal
yeah,
the deal.
I
and
do.
put themselves in the SEC championship. And then Pavi's going to try and knock them out.
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy?
That's not a combination I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Should be, though, I guess.
That'd make for a fun game in Nashville in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that game was sold out. I tried to get tickets.
Yeah.
Speaking of sold out,
We about to sell out of
I
this.
think we got another show on the books.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Don't forget, Jared wins everything.
Not this week. Come on, knock him out. I'll buy anybody that finishes better than Jared this coming week. Well, at least one. And maybe I'll draw out of a hat.
Give him some spicy salt.
I'm going to send him a pizza.
Just send him a pizza.
But
Ziggy's.
yeah. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of Scott Social Media.